Tonight we have well, Trump is getting his people in and the confirmation hearings are going on, but by far the most entertaining has been the confirmation hearing of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. RFK. The guy who speaks like, I was gonna do a monologue in his voice, but I can't get I can't get the impression right. So I was like, screw it, right? We'll hear from the man himself. Oh, mate, it has been glorious. Obviously, all of the sort of the powerful people, the safe and effective people, right? The anti-conspiracy people, the anti-mis and disinformation people are very, very scared that RFK might get in and, kill millions of people by trying to make America like less of a sick nation. Truly, truly a terrible fate that would behold the American populace. Yeah, it has been hilarious. We have had standout schizo attacks from Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, from Bernie Sanders, and just a few other people. It has been glorious. Today's meme, bit of a dark one for you here, bros. Equality for all, says Mao. 40 million dead Chinese. La Mao. Bruh. Decisive Han victory. 3 million people eaten. Fuck. Anyway, right, let's get on with the show with the RFK bros. Right, so this meme's been doing the rounds, and I gotta say, right, this every man feels this pain in his soul. Yes, all the confirmation hearings have had one thing in common, which has been screeching women and screeching feminized men, basically sort of like yelling at these sort of like quite testosterone enriched men. Oh, is entropy working? Oh, I haven't turned entropy on. Thank you very much for reminding me, Texas man. I always forget to do the entropy. Thank you very much. Don't forget to turn on entropy and shout out newsfist.net. Yeah, that's right. You can find all of my stuff on newsfist.net. Buy it now. It's free. I don't know, but you could buy something on Entropy, buy me like a beer or something. Please donate to your humble streamer. All the money goes towards, keeping me alive, which is a great thing, because if I'm not alive, I can't really, do this kind of like stuff. So if you enjoy the show, please donate. Here's a little message from Zim himself.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth pigs. Mini Moose. How much have we earned?
So please, give Earth monies. Right, every man feels this in your soul. Yes, entropy is up now. If someone could confirm and check. Thank you very, very much for the reminder, Texas man. We got another meme. Right, okay, so Big Pharma started going in hard. As soon as RFK presented himself in front of them, they made their demands very, very clear. Just listen to this, mate. He's like, this is what you gotta do, Bobby. If you want to be power to the government, this is what you got to agree to. And you got to do it in front of everybody. Or we're gonna take you down. I mean, this is crazy. Check this out.
Minutes with you, and I've got a lot of experience with CMS. So you're just going to have to listen. Two things. One, if you want to move from advocacy to public responsibility, Americans are going to need to hear a clear and trustworthy recantation of what you have said on vaccinations, including a promise from you never to say vaccines aren't medically safe when they in fact are.
You must never say the vaccines are safe. They absolutely are. Fuck off.
And making indisputably clear that you support mandatory vaccinations against diseases where that will keep people safe. You're in that hole pretty deep. We've just had a measles case in Rhode Island, the first since 2013. And frankly, you frighten people. Two, I want to air harms that Rhode Island has experienced from a remorseless, senseless CMS bureaucracy. CMS has for years maintained a reimbursement system that the bureaucracy could never explain, never justify, that persistently pays Rhode Island providers less than neighboring Massachusetts and Connecticut providers.
Yeah, I don't really care about the Massachusetts and Connecticut state issues. You know, what I care about, of course, is the vaccine thing. And, you know, and you might say, well, you're not American. I mean, I aspire to be, but I'm not. But the truth of the matter is that American science has a lot of effect on the rest of the world. It is frequent that other countries use research by the FDA to justify or bolster their own programs. If RFK makes it in as head of HHS, and, you know, the FDA is forced to come out and say, oh, yeah, so it turns out that, you know, autism is basically like from vaccines, and they start dialing back the schedule, even if they just make, they could just make safer vaccines, right? I mean, this is basically what RFK has been saying from the start. He's like, I'm not against vaccines. I just want safer vaccines. And all the, you know, all the pharma companies like, no, we can't make, you know, we can't make them safer. I'd be like, have you ever tried? Well, no, you know, but fuck off, right? Oh, we got entropy from Texas Man. Let's see, where we got a nice, have a nice dancing girl, Texas Man, $5 US. Entropy is up, and did you ever figure out if we could pay for no or at least less cringe? I don't know, mate. I don't know whether I feel like holding my audience hostage with cringe. I mean, on the other hand, I'll be doing it for money. I don't know, Texas Man. Chat, would you like the option to be able to pay for less cringe? Like maybe I could do a thing where every sort of anti-cringe super chat I drop one cringe video from the lineup. But I like the cringe. How are you all supposed to know the horror that is going on in the world if I don't show you, right? Look, I have to watch it, right? So that's the rules of the game. If I have to watch it, you have to watch it. We got some new people in as well, by the way. Evil Author 1776, Stumbling, I Miss Nick Plur. I think you're new. Welcome. Roger Cook, and on Rumble, Edie Wolf. Oh, good to see you, Edie Wolf. Ah, it's lovely to see you all here, bros. It's lovely. Oh, and on Odyssey, we have Lattice Dextero. Oh, mate. See, people on Odyssey, they always have like the coolest, you know, usernames, right? You know, because Odyssey, of course, is the platform for the men of culture who are hiding from the feds, obviously. Right, now, the best performance so far in the Academy Awards of the RFK nomination must go to Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren for her extremely shill. Like, oh my god, just mate, this is like crazy the way she goes off. Check this out.
You've said that President Trump asked you to, quote, clean up corruption and conflicts. Sounds great. You've said that you will, quote, slam shut the revolving door between government agencies and the companies they regulate. That also sounds great. So here's an easy question. Will you commit that when you leave this job, you will not accept compensation from a drug company, a medical device company, a hospital system, or a health insurer for at least 4 years, including as a lobbyist or a board member?
Can you just repeat the last part of the question? Can I commit
You're
to
not going to take money from drug companies in any way, shape, or form.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh. Yeah, I'm happy to commit to that.
Okay, good. That's what I figured. I said it's an easy question to start with. And I think you're right.
You're going to not take money from pharma companies? Who, me? Or you? And of course, this is the, you know, essential folly of all this. All these people basically who don't want him to be HHS are taking money from pharma companies. Bernie Sanders actually gets very, very annoyed when RFK points this out. I think I got a clip of this. This is the second one from Elizabeth Warren.
I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies,
no,
and I'm not going to agree to that,
drug
Senator.
companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies or anybody.
So let's do a quick count here of how, as Secretary of HHS, if you get confirmed, you could influence every one of those lawsuits. Well, let me start the list. You could publish your anti-vaccine conspiracies, but this time on U.S. government letterhead, something a jury might be impressed by.
Based?
You could appoint
I
people
don't
to the
understand that.
CDC vaccine panel who share your anti-vax views and let them do your dirty work. You could tell the CDC vaccine panel to remove a particular vaccine from the vaccine schedule.
Based? Oh, please, keep going. Look, you don't have to sell me on the guy. I'm already all for him.
You could remove vaccines from special compensation programs, which would open up manufacturers to mass torts. You could make more injuries eligible for compensation, even if there is no causal evidence. You could change vaccine court processes to make it easier to bring junk lawsuits. You could turn over FDA data to your friends at the law firm, and they could use it however it benefited them. You could change vaccine labeling. You could change vaccine information.
Oh, no. Oh, change vaccine labeling and information. Oh, no, bros. Oh, no.
Rules. You could change which claims are compensated in the vaccine injury compensation program. There's a lot of ways that you can influence those future lawsuits and pending lawsuits while you are Secretary of HHS. And I'm asking you to commit right now that you will not take a financial stake in every one of those lawsuits so that what you do as secretary will also benefit you financially down the line.
I'll comply with all the ethical guidelines.
That's not the question. You and I, you have said
You're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You know exactly what you're asking.
Exactly what you're doing.
Look, no one should be fooled here. As Secretary of HHS, Robert Kennedy will have the power to undercut vaccines and vaccine manufacturing across our country. And for all of his talk about follow the science and his promise that he won't interfere with those of us who want to vaccinate his kids, the bottom line is the same. Kennedy can kill off access to vaccines and make millions of dollars while he does it. Kids might die, but Robert Kennedy can keep cashing in.
Senator, I support vaccines. I support the childhood schedule. I will do that. The only thing I want is good science, and that's it.
How about then say you won't make money off what you do as Secretary?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's terrible, bros. It's a vaccine shower over here. Oh, mate. Oh, this is fucking great. So this is Bernie Sanders, right, taking extreme umbrage at some of the Children's Health Defense merch. Children's Health Defense was an organization that RFK started, but he's resigned from it now because he's going into government. Pretty good organization. So you're like, oh, mate, this is funny.
I think the gist of what you're trying to say today is you're really pro-vaccine, you want to ask questions. You have started a group called the Children's Health Defense. You're the originator. Right now, as I understand it, on their website, they are selling what's called onesies. These are little things, clothing for babies. One of them is titled Unvaxxed, Unafraid. Next one, and they're sold for $26 a piece, by the way. Next one is No Vax, No Problem. Now, you're coming before this committee and you say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on the usefulness of vaccines.
Oh, no, bros. Oh, no. Oh, let me clutch my pearls. Oh, no. They're selling onesies to crunchy moms. Like, what the fuck?
Can you tell us now that you will, now that you are pro-vaccine, that you're going to have your organization take these products off the market.
Senator, I have no power over that organization. I'm not part of it. I resigned from the board.
Yeah, that was just a few months ago. You founded that. You certainly have power. You can make that call. Are you supportive of this?
I've had nothing to do with
Are you
leadership.
supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccines.
Are you supportive of this clothing, which is militantly anti-vaccine?
I am supportive of vaccines. I will. I want good science, and I want to protect. Supportive of vaccines. I will. I want good science, and I want to protect.
But you will not tell the organization you founded not to continue selling that product. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh God, sorry about that, bros. Brave just decided to like update itself, and I was muted. And right, is everything working? I wish there was a way to like disable update. What the hell is going on with that? Right, okay. my apologies. Now, it is not a secret, of course, that both Pocahontas and Bernie have taken a lot of money from the pharmaceutical industry. Of course, Bernie Sanders got rather miffed when RFK brought this up. Check it out.
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? That's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would come. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
because I had small contributions from workers all over this country. Workers,
you were the
not a nickel from corporate
Bernie,
tax.
you were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but you have not answered. Last question.
No, I did not. I did not take that money from the pharmaceutical corporations. I mean, I don't honestly, the other thing as well, right, is that a lot of like PAC money is basically dark money. So I'm not exactly sure how like you're supposed to know, right? There's tons of like super PACs. They don't really like say who it's from. It's easy to funnel money through. It's very, very obvious what side of Bernie's toast is buttered on, right? Now, of course, the top 20 member recipients of money from pharmaceutical and health companies, 2019 to 2020. This is old from Open Secrets. And at the top of the list, ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders. I once again am asking you for pharma companies to give me money. Followed in second place by Elizabeth Warren. Oof! Oof! And in third place, Mark Kelly, who I think we also have a clip of. But look, bros, look, this is very, very serious. If RFK becomes head of the HHS, millions of children are going to die. You know, something tells me I have heard this rhetorical tactic before, bros.
That RFK Jr. wants to conduct the Tuskegee experiments on all of us. He wants to observe the disease process population-wide. But I believe, don't know, I believe the Democrats will be united. And I think we can defeat this nomination, not for partisan reasons, not because I particularly want to poke the president in the eye on this one, but because I truly believe that if he runs HHS, that millions will die.
Yeah, RFK, he wants to run the Tuskegee experiments on all of America. He wants America to be his laboratory. He wants millions to get sick so he can absorb the disease process. Bitch, millions and millions of Americans are already sick. Your country has the highest chronic disease burden in the entire goddamn world, for Christ's sake. Like, dude, come on. Let's see what else we got. We got a couple more clips here.
So do you believe, as you've said, that antidepressants cause school shootings? This should be a simple question.
I don't think anybody can answer that question, and I didn't answer that question. I said it should be studied.
So your answer is...
I said it should be studied along with other potential culprits, like
so they may cause...
social media. But I don't know. I would never make, because there's no science on that,
Well,
Senator.
there is, Senator. I mean, excuse me, there is, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you for the promotion.
The science shows that there... So do you believe, as you've said, that antidepressants...
The science shows that there's no link between SSRIs and school shooting. Source? It's widely recognized that SSRIs contribute to suicidal ideation. It is also widely recognized that they can trigger violence in certain individuals. So, you know, but like, you know, what if they start prescribing them to all the kiddies? What's going to happen to my shares? Where am I going to get my kickbacks from? Oh, this one is great. Did you know, chat? Did you know RFK is a racist? Confirmed. A massive, massive racist. Here's the proof.
You were on a show on February 26, 2021, an interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits, where you said the following, and I quote, "We should not be giving Black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours." Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland, that show that to particular antigens that Blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds left. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I?
Look at her, right? She thinks she's asked like the perfect gotcha question. That's smart. She's like, try fielding that one, Mr. Racist. Ha! Don't you know I'm a black woman? Black woman is speaking. Please shut up.
I have received.
I mean, the Poland article suggests that Blacks need fewer antigens than...
This is so dangerous.
So you get the same measles vaccine.
Mr. Kennedy, with all due respect, that is so dangerous. Your voice would be a voice that parents would listen to. That is so dangerous. I will be voting against your nomination because your views are dangerous to our state and to our country.
I mean, do you think science is dangerous, Senator? This is published, peer-reviewed studies.
Oh my God, it's so dangerous. Don't you know that everyone is exactly the same unless it comes to DEI, in which case, like, we absolutely have to make the difference between the whites and the blacks. But when it comes to science, everybody is the same unless, of course, we're not the same, right? Like, we have to, like, tweak AI algorithms so that there's not implicit bias. But apart from that, everybody's the same. Oh, just fuck, I fucking hate this so much, bro. What else have we got? Oh, all right. Oh, for God's sake. Now, here is RFK just sort of like laying out some of the very, very serious problems that the US has with its population in terms of health.
Trump.
So it doesn't matter that you're before us. It could be anybody coming before us as long as they're a rubber stamp for this administration and disregarding your beliefs and what you think. I guess my question to you is, if it really is fundamental to what you believe, how do you live with that? How do you address those issues as you're moving forward?
You want me to
knowing
answer
that
the
it's going to
question,
harm
Senator?
Americans? Yeah.
You want me to answer the question?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay. President Trump has asked me to end the chronic disease epidemic and make America healthy again. And I'm
So
in a
is that the
unique
only reason why
position.
you're at HHS? Is that the
Excuse
only
me.
reason why then you're at the HHS to address that one issue?
President Trump has asked me because I'm in a unique position to end that. And that is what I'm doing. And if we don't solve that problem, Senator, all of the other disputes we have about who's paying, and whether it's insurance companies, whether it's providers, whether it's HMOs, whether it's patients or families, all of those are moving deck chairs around on the Titanic. Our ship is sinking. Our 60% increase in Medicaid over the past 4 years is the biggest budget line now, and it's growing faster than any other. And no other nation in the world has what we have here. No other nation has a chronic disease. We have the highest chronic disease burden of any country in the world. We had, during COVID, we had 16% of the COVID deaths in a country. We only have 4.2% of the world's population. We had a higher death count than any country in the world. And when CDC was asked why, they said it's because Americans are the sickest people on earth. The average person who died from COVID, American, had 3.8 chronic diseases. This is an existential threat economically, to our military, to our health, to our sense of well-being. And it is a priority for President Trump. And that's why he asked me to run the agency. And if I'm privileged to be confirmed, that's exactly what I'll do.
So, yeah, so look, RFK is pointing out, there was a much longer clip he was talking about this, about how the US has an incredibly high chronic disease burden, incredibly high rates of diabetes, autoimmune problems like ADHD, asthma, all this kind of other stuff. And, you know, no one wants to say it's the elephant in the room, but there is a lot of evidence that these are being caused by the vaccine schedule. I mean, oh my God, you're not allowed to say that. Where's the science? Well, it's funny, because a bunch of meta-reviews are now actually coming out, particularly in the field of autism, that basically say exactly this. But, misinformation. What's this one?
Thank you. Senator Whitehouse.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Kennedy, I only have 5 minutes with you, and I've got a lot of experience with CMS, so you're just going to have to listen. 2 things. One, if you want to move from advocacy to public responsibility, Americans are going to need to hear a clear and trustworthy recantation of what you have said on vaccinations, including a promise from you.
Oh yeah, we already heard this one. Sorry, I got a lot of clips loaded, bros. Oh yeah, here we go. This is a good one. Is RFK a conspiracy theorist, bro?
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
That is a pejorative, Senator, that's applied to me, mainly to keep me from asking difficult questions of powerful interests. I was told that I was a conspiracy theorist. That label was applied to me because I said that the vaccines, the COVID vaccine, didn't prevent transmission and it wouldn't prevent infection, when the government was telling people, Americans, that it would.
Oh my God, conspiracy theory detected. Everybody knows it's absolutely safe and effective, don't you know, bros? Oh God.
I was saying that because I was looking at the monkey studies in May of 2020. I was called a conspiracy. Now everybody admits it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said red dye caused cancer. And now FDA has acknowledged that and banned it. I was called a conspiracy theorist because I said fluoride-lowered IQ. Last week, JAMA published a meta-review of 87 studies saying that there's a direct inverse correlation between IQ loss.
All right, so I'm going to assume
I could go on for about a week.
Is there any one of them that you can say, you got me? That really was a conspiracy theory, or are you in a
Not
position?
yet.
Not yet. Bruh. Oh, actually, we're running a bit behind time. But I'll just play a couple of minutes. This is Rand Paul, basically sort of like pointing out that this whole question is very, very nuanced, and the pharma companies just keep shutting it down into these very, very black and white questions. Something, of course, that everyone with a brain will be very, very familiar with.
Senator Paul.
You know, I think the discussion over vaccines is so oversimplified and dumbed down that we never really get to real truths. And it's why people up here are so separated from real people at home. So we talk about hepatitis B. It's a terrible disease. It could lead to liver failure, as the chairman said. But the reason you have distrust from people at home, why they don't believe anything you say, they don't believe government at all, is you're telling my kid to take a hepatitis B vaccine when he's 1 day old. You get it through drug use and sexually transmitted. That's how you get hepatitis B. But you're telling me my kid has to take it at 1 day old. You're not. That's not science. And so every person with a bit of common sense, even people who don't resist vaccines, I vaccinated all my kids. I believe vaccines are one of the modern miracles beyond all pale. The Speckled Monster is a great book about the introduction of the smallpox vaccine in 1720 into our country. All miracles. But I'm not a one-size-fits-all. It's not all or nothing. I chose to wait on my hepatitis B vaccine, and we did it when they went to school. Does that make me an awful person? Does that make me an anti-vaxxer because I questioned?
Yes, it does. Oh, my God. Look at the anti-vaxxer. Oh, my God.
The government dictate of whether I do it, and I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm only speaking for myself. But for goodness sakes, let's have an honest debate about these things. The COVID vaccine. If you ask me my opinion, the reporters run up and down the hall and they say, you still anti-vaccine? No, I'm pro-vaccine. But on the COVID vaccine and on the COVID illness, there was a 1,000-fold or more difference between the elderly and children. If you don't acknowledge that, you're committing malpractice. You're showing your ignorance. If you say a 6-month-old must be mandated to get it, the science is not there. So all this blather about the science says this and the science says that, no, it doesn't. The science actually shows that no healthy child in America died from COVID. Look it up. No healthy child died from COVID. And so the thing is that it's 1,000-fold greater. So if you ask me my advice as a physician, if you were 65 or older or overweight and some other conditions, I would have said, hell yes, I'd take the COVID vaccine. The risks of the disease were real and much greater than the vaccine. But if you ask me, should my healthy 6-month-old get it? See, these are the nuances you're unwilling to talk about because there's such a belief in submission. Submit to the government. Do what you're told. There is no discussion. There ought to be a debate. You're not going to let him have the debate because you're just going to criticize and say, it is this and admit to it or we're not going to appoint you. But it's more complicated than that.
Very, very well said, Senator Paul. You do not know what you are talking about, says Anthony Fauci. Yeah, he does. And I just want to point out this kind of stuff is still going around, right? Like, you know, they're fighting a desperate rearguard action. This is from just a week ago, bros, right? I mean, they literally did the meme. Yes, some vaccines contain aluminium. Here's why that's a good thing, right? I can basically summarize this article for you without even fucking reading it by this point. They're going to point out that aluminium is used as an adjuvant, which stimulates an immune response in order to reduce the amount of antigen needed in the vaccine. And then they are going to completely dismiss any of the side effects of aluminium or other heavy metal accumulation in the brain. Let me see. Yes, aluminium salts. No. Blah, 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 blah. The origins in vaccine can be traced back. It's not an argument. Just because we've been doing something terrible for 100 years doesn't mean it's a good thing. Bloody hell. Yes. I know how an adjuvant works. Only minor side effects, bros. only minor side effects. Do you know you like inhale aluminium in the environment? Do you know you eat aluminium? Yeah, what kind of aluminium? They use a fucking nano aluminium as an adjuvant, right? And it's directed right into your body. So there's no they found a minor association. So yeah, there are side effects, bros, but they're very, very rare. Oh my god, I'm so sick of this bullshit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.